Okay, so let's look at finding the volume of pyramids and cones. All right, let's look at these examples. So remember, the formula is 1/3 the area of the base times the height. All right, so we're going to use those on all of these. All right, so the first one, you've got a square base. So it's going to be 1/3 the area of the base, which would be 5 squared, times the height, which is 7. Okay, so when we simplify all of this, we should get 58.3, just round to one decimal place, cubic inches. All right, now if we look at the next one, again, we've got a square base, and it's going to be 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So in this case, that's going to give us 45 cubic inches. And then the last one, or sorry, the last pyramid for this one, because it says find the volume, choose the pyramid with the volume closest to that of the cone over here. So let's find the volume of this one. Again, we got a square base, 1/3, 8 squared times the height. So the volume of this one would be 42.7 cubic inches. Okay, so there's our 3 volumes of those pyramids. Now let's look at the volume of this cone. So it's also going to be 1/3 the area of the base times the height, but of course the base of a cone is going to be a circle. So the volume of this one is going to be 1/3, the radius is 2.5 squared times pi times 7, okay? So when we simplify all of this on out, we're going to go ahead and round to the nearest tenth, use 3.14 for pi, okay? So whenever we multiply all that on out, we're going to get 45.8 cubic inches. So the one that's closest to would be pyramid B over there, because it's 45 cubic inches and this is 45.8. So it said choose the one that's closest to the volume of the cone at the right. Okay, so down here at the bottom, it says find the volume of each figure, round your answers to the nearest tenth if necessary. All right, so if we look at that first one, I'm going to, it's going to be a cone. And I'm just going to leave these in terms of pi for right now, since we're not comparing it to anything else. So the volume of a cone, remember, is 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So the volume is going to be 1/3, 6 squared. And here, to find the height, you have to use the Pythagorean theorem or recognize the fact that that is a Pythagorean triple. Now, if you recognize the fact that it's a Pythagorean triple, your height is going to be 8. Okay, so we're going to multiply that by 8. So your volume is going to be 6 squared, and then you're going to divide that by 3, and then multiply it by 8, and then pi. Don't forget the pi. All right, so your volume is equal to 96 pi cubic centimeters, okay? So here's another one, number 3, where in order to find the height, you're going to have to either use Pythagorean theorem. Now realize that if this whole thing is 18, this would be 9, and then the height here, again, you could recognize that it's a Pythagorean triple. 15, 9, and then your missing side over here would be 12. 15 squared is 225, 9 squared is 81. You subtract 81 from 225, you get 144. Square root of 144 is 12. Okay, so again, the volume is going to be 1/3 the area of the base times the height, which is 12. Okay, when we simplify all this, the volume here is going to be 1,296 cubic feet. Okay, so we got another one over here where we're going to have to recognize the Pythagorean triple. Remember, if this whole thing is 6, this would be 3, and 5, 3, and 4 form a Pythagorean triple. So that means that the height of this one is 4. So the volume here is 1/3 area of the base, which is 6 squared, times the height, which is 4. Okay, and that's going to give you 48 cubic inches. Right, and then finally, we've got a cone. So again, it's going to be equal to the area of the base times the height. Well, this time you're going to have to use Pythagorean theorem to find the height, okay? So we got 4.1 squared plus h squared, it's not a Pythagorean triple, equals 12.7 squared, okay? All right, so when we do this, we get 16.81 plus h squared equals 161.29. Subtracting 16.81 from both sides, I get h squared equals approximately 144.48, and that's close enough to 12. So we'll just say that it's 12. Okay, the height is 12. So in order to find the volume of this, it's 1/3 the area of the base, which is 4.1 squared times pi, and then we need to multiply that by 12. 12, there we go. Okay, and then when we multiply all this on out, the volume is 67.24 pi cubic meters. So there you go.